guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today for you guys is another review. Today we're tackling actually the live action adaptation TV show of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I know it's been a minute since this actually released. I did see it on Netflix actually, which is cool. And then I bought the Blu-ray, of course, from other eCreator or Etsy or something like that, and let me just tell you right now, it's a freaking masterpiece. But to kind of go through my Avatar, not the blue people, you know, bald kid, basically me in a few years if you put a blue arrow down my head, but basically my entire backstory about this franchise started with, of course, the anime. You know, I heard about it, and people are like, oh, you gotta watch Avatar, man, it's so freaking good. And I'm like, yeah, maybe one day. And I was like, well, you know, I like Ninjago. And to be honest, look, this did come out before Ninjago, obviously. I do still like Ninjago better, but I gotta say, after watching this entire show, a few months ago, it is definitely one of the best shows I've ever seen, period. Like, the lore is amazing, the action, the animation, the voice acting, everything about it is just top tier. And then we have this, The Last Airbender. Now, to be honest, I got this for Easter. I have not seen this yet. I have had a lot of schoolwork. I'm going to watch it ASAP. This, in fact, should be the next or second to next video. I do want to watch it. It's only 103 minutes. I know, not that long of a film. But I heard that it is one of the worst things ever made. Again, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it very, very soon and have my own video, reviewing it. But coming from the guy who, was like, all right, I'll watch it. And then I watched the anime. I was like, this is freaking cool. This is awesome. To then hearing, oh, the live-action movie is garbage. I'm like, oh, I mean, look, the things I know about it, they got the characters' names wrong. Aang is Ong. I think Sokka is Sokka, like Star Wars Ahsoka. I think they got Katara right. Can't really F that up. But yeah, just really weird stuff. It feels like they didn't really understand the lore. Again, I'm watching it soon. I'll have my own dedicated video on this, but I did buy it. I haven't seen it, and I'm kind of scared. Not gonna lie. But that brings us to the latest adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that, of course, is the Netflix live-action show. This is technically Book 1, so Season 1. There's, Book 1, 2, 3, Season 1, 2, 3, and this did get renewed for a Book 2 and 3, Season 2 and 3. So yeah, we're eventually going to be getting the entire Avatar: The Last Airbender show, anime, the whole show, remade and kind of redone in live action, which is really cool. Now, again, a little bit burnt out because I'm like, all right, the live action one's really trash. Will this one be bad too? And it wasn't. Again, I don't know what the internet says. I think for some reason a lot of people don't like it. I know there was some political stuff which we'll get into, but I think that this is a very, very, very well-made show. Like, the shots, the cinematography is freaking through the roof. I mean, it was amazing in the anime, but I think the best part about this live action show, besides the great acting for the most part, the great writing, the great action, the amazing CGI for the most part, we'll get into all this, but I think that, really what they are doing so well is they're taking that original anime source material and they're not necessarily doing a straight up, this is exactly one-to-one, because I believe there's only 10 episodes or 8 in the, live action TV show. And there's a lot more in Book 1 of the anime. So, they're kind of taking liberties there, and they're kind of going, all right, we won't do this, and we will do this. But the fact that they're able to kind of, hit the same strides and stuff like that the first show did, and have it still make sense and not be a convoluted effing nightmare, that was really great. And I was very, very, fortunate to watch this, because I'm like, wow, like the effects are amazing. It's so much better looking than the movie, which, again, I haven't seen. I just saw trailers and whatnot, but I'm like, wow, this looks really freaking good. And, again, they nailed the casting. I think, Aang is great. I think that Katara she looks great, but in terms of her acting, she's probably the weakest part of that. Sokka, I think they completely effing nailed Sokka. I mean, Sokka has a really weird, like, elongated, pointy-looking Jim Carrey chin. Jim Chinny chin. And what they did is I guess Ian Owsley or whoever is, I think that's his name, they just got a weird-looking dude, and they were like, here, you can be Sokka, and he does a great job. Obviously, he's a really great actor in this, but it's crazy that, like, I'm watching it. Every time I see an episode, I'm like, holy shit, they really got the chin. That's all I took away from that. Of course, Uncle Iroh is great. I think that the guy, the Asian-American dude from The Mandalorian, that's the guy. I don't know if he's the best, because, you know, if you watch the anime, you know, Iroh's like, hey, Zuko, you have to go, and he's not like that, but, you know, he's more like raspy. And in this, he's just like kind of a normal sounding dude, which I guess works, because we'll get into this now. I guess the Avatar The Last Airbender anime, it's not a kid show by any means. I've seen it. I wouldn't recommend it to a child, but it was aired on Nickelodeon, and, you know, because of that, me personally, again, everyone's going to differ. Me personally, I would probably say that Avatar The Last Airbender is good for maybe 11, 12 up. I know that's still a kid, but when I think of a kid show, I think of, like, you know, obviously kid shows, Dora, Arthur, Thomas the Tank Engine. Those are literal children's shows. They're for children, or babies even. This, you know, Avatar, SpongeBob, Ninjago, all the other things, those aren't kid shows. They're just shows. They're for everyone. They're for kids. In this case, I would say older kids, maybe about teenager, especially when he gets into book 2 and 3. And then, of course, you know, this new show is basically a TV-14 rating, the equivalent of a, you know, PG-13 movie. So I think that's kind of cool that they're able to kind of, you know, understand that we're not, you know, it's really hard to talk about, because a lot of people call Avatar a kid show, and I genuinely, you know this, I genuinely hate that term, because when you say something is a kid show, you're implying it's for kids. Avatar The Last Airbender is not for kids. It's appropriate for kids, but it's not made for children. It's made for everyone. Children just happen to be able to watch it. You know what I mean? I genuinely hate that term with a passion, and I'll defend it till the day I die. This show, though, you can't call it that. I mean, it's not like the most R-rated thing in the world, but, you know, they say hell and ass and damn, and I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean, like that. But then you also get, don't make that a meme, you also get, you know, people dying a lot more. Now, people do die in the Avatar show, I'm not going to say who, but people do die in this anime, in the show, the original thing. Not a lot, but, you know, I mean, it's still incredibly violent, right? You have fist fights and sword fights and bow and arrow, and, you know, even though people are shooting water and fire and earth and shit at people, like, that kills people. If you get burned by fire, you die, you know what I mean? And they kind of really heavily talk about that and show it in the live-action show, which is really cool. Again, they try to, I think they said in an interview, like, oh, we're getting the Game of Thrones audience. I'm like, Katara's not naked, so what do you do? But at the same time, I think that, you know, they're able to show more and get away with more because of the rating, which is good, you know? I think it's cool to have a PG-rated show and then a PG-13 rated show, technically. I think that's kind of cool. Obviously, you know, I watched the original Avatar show as an adult. I watched it last year. I was 24, and there were no babies in the room. There were no children. I had no kids in my house. I never do. I guess I'm a kid to my parents, but I'm an adult. I'm 25 now, so I have seen that show. Again, no toddlers or newborns or fetuses were present, you know what I mean? No kids. It was just adult me, and I effing loved it, you know what I mean? I never once thought, this is kind of childish and for babies. Like, no, this is like some cool shit, you know what I mean? This is crazy. And the anime, or excuse me, the live action show really kind of capitalized on that, especially with things like the action, the storytelling, Ko, you know, that is really good stuff there. Now, to the acting, I think it's really good. It's like pretty much top tier. Katara is a bit wooden. I would say Katara's acting is kind of like the Star Wars prequel trilogy, where it's not horrible, but you can tell that, you know, when she she does have emotion, but some of the scenes are kind of like, hey, no, you can't stop, and I'm like, you know what I mean, like, just do better. Again, not saying I'm the best actor in the world, but, you know, I can realize when something's amiss. Something a little sussy-wussy, if you know what I'm saying. And I think that this kind of was like, all right, you know, like Sokka and Aang are freaking great, you know what I mean? Zuko, I swear to God, Zuko's a great actor. Like, man, he has a lot of emotion. He's a very, very good actor in that. Same with Iroh and, you know, the bad guy, Fire Lord Ozai, he's great, you know what I mean? Everyone is really good in this, and Katara's not bad, but if I did have to, you know, since I am reviewing this and I have to come up with some negatives, or at least think of some, that would be one of them. She's a little bit wooden, a little bit dry in her performance and her delivery. You know, the writing's fine. Like, thank God there's nothing woke, nothing weird yet. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But speaking of woke and all of that, you know, obviously when everything new comes out, there's got to be something political, either left or right. It's not really political if you watch it, but if you have seen the original anime, you know that Sokka is basically sexist, okay? He kind of throws shade at women, and he's like, oh, well, you know, when he meets, I think, what's her name, Suki or something like that, one of the warriors, Kyoshi warriors, he's like, oh, well, you're a woman, and the women aren't supposed to fight, and they're, you know, us men, we're in charge. Now, look, I'm going to say it as it is. Men are stronger than women. Like, we were born, that's part of our genes. That's how God made us. But in terms of equality, obviously men and women are equal, right? If you think men are better than women in terms of equity and all that, you're kind of dumb. But yeah, I mean, that was Sokka's whole deal, right? Like, oh no, well, in my tribe or my place, you know, the women don't fight too much, just like the water tribe, right? It's like, oh, well, they don't do we kind of do a lot, and they kind of sideline that, you know, because in the anime, Sokka grows as a character, and like, hey, women can be warriors too. It's not spelled out like that. It's not woke. It's not preachy in the anime. It makes it sound like it is, but it ain't, okay? Trust me. But Sokka does have some really good character growth about that. And, again, nothing's shoved down your throat in the anime. Nothing's like, women are powerful! Respect women! It's not like that, you know what I mean? They don't do that, thank God, because that'd be kind of weird. It's like, okay, I already did, but thanks. You know what I mean? Like, no. So, thankfully, in this, they kind of, I guess... Thankfully for the anime, they didn't do that. But weirdly enough, in this new version, I guess Sokka has like one or two slight remarks, but they kind of glance over that, and you know, for the modern audience, and it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Just, you know, after that character arc, I guess, whatever. He just respects women, which again, you should. But that's an integral moment of the character. You know what I mean? There's also moments like Aang being goofy and Aang being stupid, and I know Sokka's kind of dumb too. But there are some funny moments in the anime. And that's not to say it's funny because it's a kid show. It's funny because it's funny. And it helps the world building. And I think that's, you know, when they go for a PG-13 audience, there are funny moments. I did laugh a lot. But they kind of sidelined the humor and the levity aspect to kind of, you know, capitalize on the darkness and the fire and the violence and the action. And it's like, that stuff's great. And I often love it. But... you know, I don't really want to call it a negative too much even, because, like, you know, when you watch the anime and then you watch this version, both are exceptional and both are the same story, but they both kind of handle things in different ways, and I think that's really, really cool, because you're able to kind of look at it and go, okay, you know, this tackled it like that, and this show tackled it like that. Again, I can't speak for the movie yet, which I'll watch soon, but from the two shows that I've watched, they're both amazing in their own right, and upon, you know, finishing the live-action show, I was like, this is freaking cool. Like, I can't wait for Book 2, man. The action was amazing. CGI was spectacular. There is one episode, I think it's episode 5, where, like, they're on Appa, and it just looks like literal death. Like, they're in the woods. You can clearly tell it's a green screen or whatever, the volume or whatever the hell they're using. It looks like poop. I'm trying to think of the Avatar word for poop. It's not poodoo. I don't know, cabbage. It looks like cabbage. You know what I mean? It's not good. And a lot of the only reason I'm bringing that up is because the rest of the CGI is like photoreal perfect. And again, I'm not a CGI god, you know, I'm not like Corridor Crew or something, but I can understand when CGI is good or bad, or is a little bit weird. A lot of the time, I'd say 98% of the time, this show had photoreal CGI to me. Again, I know you people, oh, the fire, you know, like, I don't care. It looks really good. I was never once like, oh, that looks like poop, except for that one moment in that one episode. But the action is spectacular. The way that they kind of pay homage to the anime, you know, it's like, I got giddy when I saw the blue mask with, you know, Zuko. So cool stuff, man. Really, really great stuff. And I can't wait to see what they do with, of course, Book 2, Season 2 coming out hopefully soon. I think that, you know, they do kind of change a bit with Zuko's backstory. They kind of, you know, film it and frame it differently. And I think that's fine. I know people are kind of freaking out about that, but if you were to do, you know, a live-action version of the anime, the exact same way, like beat for beat, shot for shot, what's the effing point? What is the point of that? And I guess for all the morons out there who are like, animation's for babies, you know what I mean? And all they watch is live action because live action is for the adults, you know what I mean? Like, maybe, but at the same time, like, if you're not one of those people that thinks animation is only for toddlers, it's like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why does everything have to be live action? I don't get it. It's kind of weird. It's just strange to me. But I mean, I'm glad that they changed stuff. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Tell me in the comments. But I'm very happy they did that because it's not, you know, radically changing the narrative or the story or whatever, or really any of the arcs. But they are taking liberty in certain aspects to kind of, you know, condense that book 1 from the anime and also make it a heck of a lot more, I guess, digestible. Again, I had the privilege of watching the anime first. If you haven't seen the original anime, I mean, just watch it. I got the whole show for like $15 on Amazon. real friggin' cheap on Blu-ray. But, you know, if you don't have extra cash and you just really want to watch the Netflix live action show, you don't need to watch the anime. It does a good job of kind of telling you what's going on, who's who, you know, because again, it is literally just, it's book one in live action. And they change a few little things, nothing too drastic where you're going to be like, oh my god, they ruined my childhood, you know what I mean? Nothing like that. But I do think, you know, they do a really good job of kind of capturing the magic that that first show had. I mean, just seeing Aang go like, yappa, yip yip, and I'm not going to do my, you know, but, you know, 10-year-old Aang going yip yip, and, you know, like, there's so much emotion and life and magic and wonder to the show and to the universe that they made, you know, the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And it's really cool that they were kind of able to, you know, kind of talk about that in different ways, and I think that's really, really interesting. And obviously, it could have blown up in its face, but the budget is there. I mean, really, I mean, this looks like a Star Wars show. Like, the CGI is top tier for the most part. Again, I love the acting for the most part. There's a few little hitches with that, and you know, the acting, CGI, and all that. I guess they kind of condense a few arcs, but I mean, I'm kind of spitballing here. It's a very good show. I don't really know why people are hating it. Again, I have seen the original. It's not like I haven't. I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, no, like, I know what they should be doing, and I think they did a pretty good job of doing it. Again, I think season 2 and 3, you know, book 2 and 3, should be a lot more interesting in terms of the action and the story and all that, but I'm very excited to see whatever happens next. Hopefully it gets made, it doesn't get canceled, or something stupid happens, because, man, this is a great show, and I love this franchise. I love the anime. I love the live action. I hopefully will like the live action movie. I'm a little scared to review it, because if I do like it, I'm going to get crucified. If I hate it, I'll be, I don't know, normal, I guess. Who knows? But, no, I am excited to watch it, and nervous and excited at the same time. But it's going to be fun, regardless, hopefully. Might have to crack open a beer, we'll have to find out. But, or cactus juice or whatever. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun to watch that. And again, I can't wait to see what they do with the franchise. And we're getting, you know, there's also The Legend of Korra, which I do own. I haven't seen it. I'm actually going to watch that soon. There's also the Avatar Last Airbender, I almost said live action, Avatar Last Airbender animated movie coming out next year in theaters. So that's going to be cool. We've got, I think, Avatar like in Fortnite or something. And I believe we're getting more Lego Avatar sets as well. So, this, I mean, this franchise is crazy, because the original anime is over. Like, the franchise, technically, it's done. You know, until they get this new movie out, and I think it's really cool that they can have all this new material and draw in all new fans, because, you know, the Netflix version, you know, drew a lot of new fans in, and hopefully, like, you know, for me, I saw the anime first, but if it was the other way around, and I finished the live action, I would have been like, oh, dude, I gotta watch that. I gotta watch the original, you know what I mean? And what's really great is that, again, it's the same story, but they both have different, you know, kind of touching points, I guess, without ruining anything. And I think they do a really good job of doing that. Again, the world building is insane, the action is great, the writing is really good, the acting, most part, is pretty great. So I'm going to give Avatar: The Last Airbender Netflix version from a 0 to a 10. I'd probably have to give it like a 9. I mean, it's genuinely amazing. I loved every second of it. Very intense, very well written. The casting was spot on. Very good stuff, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Again, if I were to give the anime, I'd probably give that like a 9.5 or a 10. It's like Ninjago's here, and then like Avatar's here. Like, it's really close. You know what I mean? It's a really good show. And I'm actually rewatching Dragon's Rising. So when I eventually finish that, you know, Season 2, Part 1 and all that, I'll review that too. But in terms of Avatar, we got a lot of stuff coming up, and I really enjoy the anime. I really, really love the live-action show, and I can't wait to review the movie. Again, look out for that. Should be coming up very soon. School and all that, you guys know I'm busy with homework, but I'll try my hardest to get that movie seen and reviewed ASAP. And yeah, well, that'll be interesting, because, man, so many people hate it, you know what I mean? Like, I love a lot of movies that everyone hates, but, you know, this might be different. Who knows? I mean, it looks god-awful, but I got it on a really cheap sale, so I'm like, alright, buy it, and we'll review it, and it should be fun. I'm normally not too harsh on movies. I'm honest. I don't just love everything, trust me. If I want to give something a D or an F, I will. I've done it before with a few times. And this, oh boy, it's going to be fun. Anyway, I can't wait to talk about the movie. And tell me in the comments down below what you think about Avatar: The Last Airbender. What do you like better, the anime or the live action? And if you have seen the Netflix show, what are your thoughts on it? Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.